come to this place for magic.
Hello and good night, everyone. After the credits movie reviews here, just got out of, as I would like to call it, a fire movie, except it was not so fire. The movie was Wolfman, directed by a guy named Leigh Whannell. I've never really heard of any other movies directed by him, but it does have a big producer, which is Jason Blum, and he's the CEO of Blumhouse Movies, and they produce, like, I don't know, almost every big name horror movie you could think of, from Insidious to The Purge to Get Out and a bunch of other big horror name movies out there. My personal opinion, this is one of his worser movies that I've seen him produce, but regardless of that, it wasn't such a horrible movie where I would consider it like a B-list movie. Anyways, a little bit about the movie itself. The Wolfman is supposed to be set in a universe called the Dark Universe, which is something that they tried making back in 2014. Dark Universe is supposed to have, Frankenstein, the Creature of the Black Lagoon, Dracula, a few other characters like that. The Invisible Man, which there was actually a movie about him, The Mummy, and a few other ones that I can't recall off the top of my head. But anyways, he was supposed to be a big name in that universe, and I don't know if anyone has seen it, but The Mummy came out, and I think it was 2017, if I'm not wrong. It was a dumpster fire of a movie. It was horrible. Got some of the worst reviews out there for any movie. And immediately after that came out, they just pretty much scrapped the entire Dark Universe, idea. But one other movie came out, and that movie was The Invisible Man. I was actually a big fan of that movie, and I thought it was actually very good. I do recommend watching it. It was a pretty interesting movie. It's not really so much of a horror movie in my opinion, but it was good. And then after The Invisible Man got some success, they decided, we're gonna keep trying the Dark Universe thing, so we're gonna make the Wolfman. So, if you take the years, the Wolfman was announced in 2014, so that's 11 years ago, which is kind of crazy if you really think about it. But in my opinion, the movie would have been better if it came out earlier back then, like 2015 or 2016 at most. Anyways, 11 years later, here we are. The Wolfman came out, and a little bit about it. It's, as it sounds, it's about a man who becomes a wolf. And in the movie, it was very predictable. Like, right in the beginning of the movie, I was like, this is what's probably going to happen. And, I even told my friends, I was telling them, like, oh, this is what's going to happen next. This is what's going to happen next. Because it was, like I said, it was extremely predictable. The shots in it, like the cinematography of it, I actually thought it was very good. It's supposed to be in the Pacific Northwest of Oregon. And I don't know if anyone's ever been there, but it's a very beautiful, foresty area. One thing that I didn't really enjoy about it is that they actually filmed the movie in New Zealand. I think they should have just tried to film it in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know why they didn't. Maybe budget reasons or something. But regardless of that, I thought that was a pretty high point of the movie. Like I said, the cinematography was very good. I do think, like, the makeup and the effects, they surprised me a little bit, because early looks of the movie was kind of a joke, as you can see as well on the thumbnail of this clip. That was like an early look at it, and it's utterly ridiculous, but surprisingly they made up for it. I thought it was pretty genuinely okay. I don't think it was like the worst thing out there. Like I said, I don't think this is a B horror movie, not that type of horror movie, but that was another strong point for me in the movie. A few things I didn't like about the movie. I kind of felt like no connection at all to any of the characters. I thought they were all kind of annoying, and that was probably the lowest point for me in the movie, and it was predictable. Other than that, I did like as well that there was almost no jump scares in it, surprisingly, because it was like a lower budget type horror movie. I thought they were just gonna pad it out with a bunch of jump scares left and right, but no, there wasn't too many of those, which I was very surprised by. Regardless of that, like I said, not one of the worst movies I've seen, definitely not one of the best. I would personally give it a 6.5 out of 10 on the rating scale, but if you're a horror fan, I would recommend it. You should go watch it. If you're not really super into horrors, I wouldn't go out of my way to watch this one if I were you. And I'm actually curious to see if they're going to continue with the dark universe and keep trying to make movies. And one other quick fun fact that I just recently found out about this movie. So it's a little bit of a spoiler alert, but in the movie, the man becomes a wolf because he gets a disease that he got from something in the forest, and he starts slowly turning into the wolf. And supposedly the director of the movie, like I said, his name is Leigh Whannell, he based that off of, I think it was some ALS disease that his friend had and died of. I don't know, I thought it was just pretty interesting. I didn't really read too much into it, but that was a little quick fun fact, I guess, about the movie. But other than that, like I said, 6.5, not the worst movie out there, and I do think it could have been a little bit better. But yeah, anyways, have a good night, everyone.